Hi, in this video we'll discuss a few tips and tricks and show how to troubleshoot some issues that may come up when setting up and running a participant with the eye tracker. If you notice that you sometimes have difficulty tracking participants at one or both of the top corners of the screen, the participant's eye may be a bit too low. So make sure the participant's eyes are level with the top quarter of the monitor. If that still doesn't solve the problem, your screen may be positioned too close to the participant, so the corners of the screen are outside the trackable range. You can move the screen further back, then measure the new eye-to-screen distances and enter them into the screen settings page on the host PC. See the tracker installation videos for more information about the proper setup. A good way to make sure you won't have difficulty tracking is to have the participant fixate the four corners of the screen. If the pupil or CR is lost at any point, you can then double check your physical setup, camera focus, and threshold values, and then check the corners again. Once things look good, you can proceed to calibration. Checking the four corners of the screen can also diagnose some issues with glasses. Sometimes you can see glare on the glasses, which will appear as a cyan blob. This glare can become problematic if it's on or near the eye, as this can interfere with tracking. You can move the glare away from the eye by adjusting the angle of the glasses or adjusting the position of the head. If you're using the SR Research head support, you can loosen the knob on the bottom of the chin pad to move it forward or backward, tilting the participant's head to remove the glare. If you're using the tower mount, you can also adjust the angle of the hot mirror to move the glare away. Loosen the knobs on the sides of the hot mirror, then gently raise or lower the mirror housing until the glare moves away from the pupil. Then tighten the knobs. You may need to adjust both the mirror angle and the angle of the glasses to move the glare sufficiently. You may find that some glasses, particularly those with anti-glare coatings, may reduce the amount of illumination that reaches the eye. If you find that when you perform an auto threshold, your pupil threshold value is below 75, this indicates you need a little more light. You can simply increase the illuminator power level on the camera setup screen. With some glasses, the eye tracker may lock onto part of the frames. To prevent this from happening, you can reduce the size of the search limit so it excludes that part of the glasses. Click on the pupil to center the search limit, then hold the Alt key and use the arrow keys to adjust the size of the search limits. There, that looks good. Some participants will be wearing contact lenses. Typically, soft contacts shouldn't pose a problem for eye tracking, but unfortunately hard contacts won't work. You may find that with some participants, the pupil will be partially occluded. For instance, if the participant has droopy eyelids. You can change the pupil tracking to ellipse mode, which will fit an ellipse around the pupil. Ellipse mode can provide a better estimate of pupil center than centroid if the pupil is partially occluded. Makeup doesn't usually pose a problem for eye tracking, but in some cases, if the participant is wearing mascara and the eyelashes overlap with the pupil in the camera image, this will disrupt tracking. So it's a good idea to keep makeup remover on hand. Some labs even ask participants not to wear eye makeup to the experiment. Some participants may have difficulty following the targets during calibration. For instance, they may look away from the target before the tracker registers their fixation, or they may have difficulty making fixations in general. In these cases, the calibration crosshairs will appear irregular instead of in a nicely shaped grid. It can help to enable manual calibration, which allows the experimenter to control the pacing of the calibration. You can enable manual calibration in the Set Options screen by selecting Force Manual Accept. You can also enable manual calibration from the calibration screen on the host PC by disabling the auto trigger button or by pressing the spacebar after calibration has begun. To proceed through a manual calibration, you can simply press the spacebar or click Accept Fixation for each of the calibration targets. You can wait until you see that the cursor is in the proper position relative to the other crosshairs before accepting their fixation and proceeding to the next target. One way to help ensure that you maintain a good calibration during the experiment is to include drift checks between trials. Depending on the design of your experiment, you may wish to perform a drift check before every trial or before a block of trials. You can think of the drift check as a one-point validation. To perform the drift check, the experimenter can simply click Accept Fixation or press the spacebar while the participant is fixating the target. Alternatively, you may allow the participant to perform the drift check themselves either by pressing the spacebar or button 5 on a button box connected to the EyeLink host PC. By default, the drift check will not allow you to proceed unless the participant's gaze position is within 2 degrees of the target. Drift checking serves a few purposes. First, it allows you to perform a quick accuracy check between trials. Second, it allows you to control the location of the participant's gaze at the beginning of the trial. You can easily set the position of the drift check target to best suit your experimental design. Third, it gives you an opportunity to go back to the camera setup and recalibrate if necessary. You can press the Escape key from the drift check screen to go back to camera setup. Once you've recalibrated, click on Output Record or press the O key to go right back to the drift check and pick up where you left off. With drift correction enabled, when you accept the fixation, the eye tracker will actually shift the calibration model to align the gaze position to the target, correcting any drift that may have accumulated. If you observe drift, it is usually either because the pupil size has changed significantly or because the participant has moved too much in the chin rest in head stabilized mode. Large changes in brightness can cause the pupil to change size. Such pupil size changes can lead to drift in the eye tracking data. So, make sure to avoid large changes in screen brightness during your experiment. For instance, if you use white stimuli on a black background in your experiment, you should calibrate with a white target on a black background, and vice versa. If you have any other questions, visit our support forums at sr-support.com, where we have example projects and answers to frequently asked questions, as well as webinars and more training videos.